How's it going, everybody?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? AJ Turn up here. I'm so happy to be here today. After last week's debacle, it's good to get a little bit of venting off my chest.
Uh, we're gonna open up with these three games today.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. First one up on the billboard is the Vikings and Colts. Um, I don't see a lot in this game. I think the Vikings own this one. Um, Dalvin Cook might get some redemption today. He's been held to less than 90 yards the last three games. I think he goes over 100 this year. This game.
Possibly. If Kirk Cousins, this is the game where he needs to just settle down, calm down, and just play ball. Kurt is another one. He overthinks certain things and just go with the flow of the game. And again,
He's been playing a lot of hero ball lately too.
yes, and you can't always force feed Justin Jefferson too much because that's how people key in, and that's where turnovers happen, and then that's how you can sometimes get your receivers hurt. You got to spread it around. You have Thielen, you got to get both of them involved,
Absolutely.
and I don't see the Colts doing anything. I think Matt Ryan is done.
Um,
He's
Actually, Matt Ryan's 600, 300 yards, 600 yards away from hitting his third consecutive 3,000 yard season. So,
yeah, that's all gravy, but
but
you
you
know how
gotta,
that works.
you're the Colts. You got to lean on Jonathan Taylor a little bit, man.
Right. And you still have Quentin Nelson. So you guys got a solid line. You guys just,
Absolutely.
I think they just got to balance. When you have a line like that, just balance. Don't be one dimensional. You can't put everything on Matt. I still got the Vikings winning this game though. They just overall are still a better team.
Yeah. Well, the Colts, I don't think that probably the entire coaching staff's going to be gone this year after this
Yeah,
year.
they'll clean house. They'll definitely clean house.
I think that's why they didn't promote anybody from within
Yeah.
to the interim job because they just didn't trust anybody within anyway.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday would have to live if he's still there, I think he would have to win out the entire season or show some promise that these players want to play for him. But right now, you're right. They're more on the clean house schedule. It's like, you know what, let's just see what we got and then we're clearing house.
Um, there ain't much else to say about that game.
No, I know that's why they put it on a Saturday.
It's a redemption game for the Vikings, and it's just you happen to be the next guys up, Colts. That's it.
Right. You know what? I just want the Vikings to win so the Packers don't have any chance of making the playoffs. That's all. I just don't.
I want the Vikings to win so the Lions can jump up there, man. I'd
There you
love
go.
to see the Lions in the playoffs this year.
There it
I
is.
love that.
Yeah, don't nobody want to see Aaron in the playoffs. We don't
No,
because we already know what's going to happen. He'll
done
get in
with
there.
his
And he's gonna,
attitude. I'm done with all.
I am too. He played himself.
Yep. He has the lowest passing percentage he's ever had in his history since starting in the NFL. So yeah, you got to go back to being a player, man, not a player. You know what I mean?
Right, and well, that's what happens when you let go of your number one receiver because you want to be greedy.
Yep, absolutely. Although I will say Christian is doing pretty damn well stepping into that spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it on the rookie, but he and Aaron would call people out, man. You can't be doing that shit with your players. You got to build a trust with them, and he tears that shit apart, man.
Well, he's just a natural born asshole. So
Yep.
that's who he is.
Hey, look here, we got Ray Kennedy in the house.
What's up, brothers?
Ray?
Hey, how you doing? Right?
Good, man. Happy Saturday. Happy NFL Saturday. 3 games today. What the heck, man? Life is good.
It is good. What do you think about the Vikings and Colts? We just finished discussing that one.
I didn't hear you guys because I was busy finding a shot to set up. I wanted to give you a little bit of the flavor out here at the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. But, the Vikings can score. That defense is having problems. It's almost like when Don Zimmer left, he had a defense, couldn't get the offense. Now they have the offense. The Colts, who shows up? Jeff Saturday on Saturday. Yeah. So, I mean, the Colts can play gritty. I just think we get a good game. I think it'd be hard to make a call. I think it's a close game, but then maybe Minnesota's defense shows up today and then the Colts just regress like they have the last couple of years.
I think the Colts are done. Stick a fork in.
Yeah, I said the same. I think Matt is done. I say the Vikings should get a good win because Kirk has been playing hero ball too much. I think this is the game where he goes back to just play,
Dalvin Cook,
get you the flow of the
play
game.
action,
Yeah,
work it down the
get
field.
you going. As you said, they have the offense to score. If Kirk decides to spread the wealth around, they'll be fine because they're going to double Justin Jefferson. So this is where Thielen comes in. If all Kurt has to do is just spread the ball around. That's it. And the Colts, they're just in dignity mode. They're just trying to play. Players now are playing for their jobs because they
Yeah,
know.
and the Colts defense has really fell apart lately too. So
Yeah, yeah. So they're playing for their people are playing for employment now because
absolutely.
when the next crew come in, they're cleaning house. The only way Jeff will stay there, and I was telling you, is if he wins out the rest of the season, or they show a promise that we want to play for this guy.
Or if he already had a deal set up with the owner,
Right.
like don't worry about what's his name, the owner. Shit.
Oh, Bob is or Israel. Ursay.
Ursay. Yeah, if Ursay came to him and said, "Look, man, just clean
What's
out
up,
the season,
AJ Turnup?
and next
What's up, Ray?
year,
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Alec?
what's up, Alec? Next year, you get to hire your staff, put your staff in place and shit, and we'll see what happens then."
Agreed.
That's the only way I would have coached. I mean, if you come to my house and in the middle of a shit season and ask me to be a head coach when I'm having to go over all the existing staff right at the time, the only way I would take that job if I knew I had that job set up for next year.
Yeah.
Right?
One of the interesting conspiracy theories I heard, maybe I'm sure you guys have all heard this or thought it yourselves, was that Irsay would love to get Peyton Manning to come back there in a general manager's capacity because not only has he got his finger and seems like in all the NFL pies, but he probably loves the Colts having played there. And Jeff Saturday, of course, was literally his favorite best friend on a team because he was his center. He was Jeff Saturday was his everyday guy.
I was shocked that he didn't go to Denver with him.
Yeah, well, he was. Yeah, and so. There's some people out there that pose that maybe this was Irsay puts in Jeff Saturday, lets him ride out the rest of the season. It was the GM's fault for the last couple of years, but maybe Frank Reich was saying, "Look, get me Carson Wentz and I'll go to the Super Bowl. Get me when we had 2 years ago we had who just retired, but
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. I mean, if Andrew Luck doesn't retire, and I think we're glad if Andrew Luck didn't retire, I think the Colts in the last 6 years would have won at least one Super Bowl and made it to another. That hurt, man. Andrew Luck
I was about to bring you in, man.
Yeah, they didn't do him any justice not providing him a line. And when they finally did, it was too late.
Yes.
That's what happens when you don't take care of business.
Yeah, he was already beat up, man.
Yeah. They gave him the Doug Williams treatment.
Oh.
I'm glad everybody's finally seeing how overrated Minnesota is. I called it 4 weeks ago. I'm not saying they're gonna lose today, but it's just overrated. Most of all their wins was pure out of luck, and it showed last week. Everybody was like, "Oh, the Lions, they're the favorite somehow. That means the Vikings win." No, I don't believe any of that BS. I mean, they'll win today.
I was one of those saying that. So screw you.
Hey guys, if you don't mind, I know I put it on my social media page or on Facebook, but it was so great this morning. I had to run over. Because I came down here doing a radio show with the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection. And I had to go get my kids breakfast because mom and the oldest daughter are out of town. And I came out of Publix and I got in the car and I look up. And Johnny, I know you're going to know exactly, and I'm sure you do, Alec, as well. But I look up and I see the slumbering Goodyear blimp just moving slowly, just over the sky. And the thing I love about that is that as I said, with the drones and everything these days and helicopters, and you can pretty much get a picture of the stadium from probably a camera one of these satellites that, Amazon has running around up there or whatever. I just love the fact that you see that Goodyear blimp in the sky and then you go, oh yeah, that's right. The Bengals are in town tomorrow. It's the huge CBS game of the week there at 425 versus our Buccaneers. And the blimp is here. And it's like something, as much as things in life change, it's nice to know there's some things that just don't.
Good morning, Jason. Do you ever sleep, dude? Do you ever sleep, man?
Oh God.
Okay. Let's get on to the Ravens and Browns game. This one, I think, has got a lot of. I think this one's a more 50-50 game for the fans. I think the Ravens are going to win this one easily, but it's Tyler Huntley. I think I like Tyler Huntley in this game. I think he fits Greg Roman's offense better than Jackson does.
Hmm.
Oh,
He's a better short to mid range thrower passer. He's he doesn't have Jackson's arm. He doesn't have that arm strength Jackson has.
Oh, Mr. Sean Spencer.
He is very accurate. How you doing,
How you doing,
Sean?
gentlemen? How
Sean.
you doing, guys?
We got Mr. Let's Talk Football in the house. How you doing?
Doing well this Saturday morning.
Yeah, I hear
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays to
Happy
you
holidays.
too, man. I'll cap off what you say about that. I think Huntley, he's a good caretaker at this moment. Is that a guy that you really want to be in the trenches in the playoffs? No, not really, especially in the AFC. I do think that he'll find a way to keep this team afloat for the time being, but you can't sleep on the Browns. They have a guy called Nick Chubb that just knows how to keep the game interesting. If Deshaun Watson was, I'd say, his fourth to fifth game in, I would say this could get interesting. But like you said, Deshaun's not ready. They're not going to go back to Jacoby. So you might have a point. It could get ugly with the if the Ravens take care of business. If Huntley is on it and he starts being mobile, it can get ugly. It could get ugly.
Well,
But
that's the thing about Huntley. He's precise passer when it comes to the short to mid range throws.
Yep.
That's what the Ravens are great long range and running Jackson, but they don't hit their targets. Huntley spreads the ball around a lot better than Jackson does.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
How do you, Sean? What do you? Let's catch you up, man. We already discussed the Vikings and Colts, but what's your idea? What do you think about that game today?
I mean, I like honestly. I think the Vikings are going to take this one, but I kind of question Minnesota, man. As a Washington fan, I had Kirk Cousins, so I know who real Kirk Cousins is. So he can get through these wins during the season. And look, they were what, like 6-8 last year in games that were decided by one possession. You know what I mean? This year they found out how to win those close games, but in prime time, Kurt just there's something about him. Just I don't know. This game is gonna get it done, but going into the playoffs and seeing him in those last couple weeks, I mean, looking at him just against the NFC East, we had him down to 7. We had that offense shut down, only scoring 7 points until the mid of the fourth quarter. Dallas shellacked them, and Philly held them to what, 7 points?
The Colts aren't Philly or Dallas, man. The
right.
We're looking for a new staff next year, right?
Right.
The whole staff's gone. You're probably going to get rid of half the players, and they don't know how to get to Jonathan Taylor, dude. All
true.
The Vikings, I think their game plan should be, let's get Dalvin Cook his yards this week. Let's get Dalvin Cook more than 90 yards because he's been he's been held to 90 yards for the last 3 weeks, right? This is a get right game for the Vikings.
No, oh yeah, and I hope the Vikings do whoop them because as a Washington fan, how the heck? Colts, how y'all gonna give up T.Y. Hilton and send him to Dallas? Come on, man. Y'all could have sent him anywhere in the daggone league. Y'all gonna send him to Dallas.
I'm gonna be real. That's not gonna do anything. I don't see the Cowboys in the playoffs making any true noise. No. Again, as much as people hype their defense up, they are still very suspect against the run because they're so heavy on pass rush. You can really take them out of the game, especially
with Dak at the helm. Because Dak wants to be he plays hero ball.
Yeah, he does.
Not that it's it is kind of a bad thing because what they do best is run the ball and play the play action. We saw that with Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush, he looked like a great quarterback with them. Man, he's not. He's a basic quarterback.
Yeah,
and it's the scheme, man. You quit putting Dak in that position, or quit letting Dak have the reign.
Yeah.
They're trying to turn Dak into Tony Romo.
Well, I think
let him throw 40, 50 times. Yeah, let him throw 40,
and that
50
doesn't
times.
work. But also, I don't think sometimes Dak also is fundamentally sound-minded like a lot of people think he is. his fundamentals are decent, but they're not what you would like. He's not what you would put like on $100 million quarterback. He's just
Right.
he is only as good as what is around him. And if you stop their run, it's over because Zeke is not going to bust through anymore. He's the short yards minimum guy, but if you keep him from getting any momentum, he's done. Pollard is the more dual threat.
Pollard's still. Pollard should be your bell cow. That's
yeah.
your bell cow. He's the
but that's why I'm saying I don't believe in Dallas when they get to the playoffs because teams are going to figure them out really well. Michael Parsons has yet to really consistently be good against the run. That's why they put him as a pass rusher. But if you want to neutralize him, just have a chip blocker in there as well.
Yep.
So again, the Cowboys ain't making no noise. They're not going anywhere. So the T.Y. Hilton thing, it's cute right now, but I don't see it. I don't see it being a factor. But I do think the Vikings still should whoop up on the Colts.
Oh yeah.
That's
so, Sean, is your team gonna tie it up again, or are they?
I knew that was coming up.
It's okay to score more than the other team.
Hopefully, after 2 weeks, we've cracked the code. But I can't call it, man. We got to just figure it out, man.
On the 28th, my phone's gonna be on Do Not Disturb from your messages. Because I already know that North Carolina Oregon game, you're gonna be pulling up my messages.
Let's go. You already know what it is, man.
Disturb that whole entire day.
Tar Heels.
Who did the Commodores? The Commanders play.
The
Giants. Let's go. We need a brick house of a line, man. If we can get that.
Hey,
I'm still saying change the damn name of the team to the DMV Commandos.
Once we get
Commodores
this new
will
owner,
be better. The Commodores. We look up here in DMV. They the Commodores. They the Commodores on the street.
I just want to look. You're in Maryland. Come on, man.
Right.
Keep the team there. Build them a nice stadium. Get rid of that idiot owner, and
let's do that first.
Go for a whole change. Go for the whole change. Name them the DMV Commandos. Give them a
Commandos.
Name, man.
Just go straight military fatigues and all that stuff. Look for the Commodores. I don't have a problem with it. If you can do our band and turn them all into like the Commodores outfits and just have them coming in like you know what I mean? I'll be down with that. Can you imagine
a go-go all night long?
Come on now. Yeah,
I agree with Ben.
Down with that. Yeah.
I agree with Ben here. I love that name.
I agree. And hey, first year as the Washington football team, we swept Dallas. So that's always going to be first in my book. I'm good with that.
Anytime you start the season off beating Dallas is good. I felt great at the beginning of the season this year when we beat Dallas. I was like, we got
now. I'll say this: Washington, you definitely have to draft for a quarterback this year. You have to get a quarterback.
Oh, Sean don't like that. He likes his backup.
Right now, I honestly, because I'm looking at it and where we're at right now as far as the draft, I'm thinking like who could we reasonably get right now? Like maybe you can look at a Richardson, maybe he but then it's like I don't want to bring him that early. Is he just a mobile Haskins? Like you're looking at where we're going to get because we're not going to in the running for Bryce Young. We're not going to get like a Will Levis or what I'm saying any of these guys that are kind of in that top tier. Yeah, right. And the problem also is I'm with you, man. I want some flash. Now like I said, I'm a North Carolina guy. We got my guy in my mind, Sam Howell, in the draft. But the thing is, and the more reason why I don't want him out there. We have just a Swiss cheese O-line, man. Like our O-line, we picked up, and we know how bad the Steelers O-line was a year ago. We picked up one of their guys that they let go and didn't even re-sign. So, in Trey Turner. Adam Norwell's not doing it. We got a rookie that's coming in. We got Charles Leno. Shout out to him, man. But we need some protection. So before we can even think about a quarterback, we got to protect our quarterback. You know what I mean?
Oh, Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
I think he just made that so long to cover up Sean there, man.
Yeah, Ray has a message for you. You want me to pass it on to you? Says, please tell Johnny I had to move. I didn't know I was sitting at someone else's table.
Oh, okay. At the restaurant there.
Yeah, he would say that
We
somebody
had
else's.
Ray Kennedy was live in here at the restaurant.
I feel that, but
That's a cool place. We used to do our shows from there. The guys down in Tampa
mhm.
would set up their shows there. It was awesome.
I was ready for that snow game tonight.
We're getting a dusting, and there. Oh, I looked at the window right now. There's big flakes coming down. Shit. So I guess it ain't a dusting.
It's like my car's covered now. Oh shit!
But right up the road in Buffalo, they're getting that lake effect streaming right through Buffalo, man, right through it. So it's going to be a good game there. That lake effect can drop 2 foot of snow in a
Yep.
hour.
Heartbeat.
Speaking of which, I didn't cover the Ravens completely yet. And Nathan's here now, so let's talk Ravens, Nathan.
Oh, I'll be back, guys.
All right, Bill.
Washington needs offensive line, tight end, linebacker, and defensive back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with our tight end, man. Logan Thomas, we just got him back off injury. He really hasn't been the same. We got Cole Turner, tight end from Nevada, worked with Carson Strong a year ago. He really hasn't progressed. You know?
Ravens are trash. They woke.
That's his team all the time.
What the hell is he saying?
He bashes his team all the time, man.
Hey, you and Alec ought to get along, man. Really, Nathan.
I mean, oh my. I bash Oregon because Oregon does the same thing every freaking year. They get your hope up for the end of the year. They're playing in a bowl game against Sean's team. Out of all teams I got to play against,
yes,
like my luck.
We ain't want to know Oregon shit.
Let's go to the game, Alec. Let's go, man.
I'll be in Michigan during that time. So I can't.
Nathan, honestly, I think you're better off with Tyler Huntley right now because he spreads the ball around.
Yeah,
he's got a better grasp of the short game. Now, I don't know if it's because Jackson has got the arm that Greg Roman. I hate that guy.
I mean,
likes to go deep and run the ball, but it's so predictable. It's pathetic. It's the same thing he did with Kaepernick. You know what I mean?
I mean, the more I saw it this year, I was like, now I see why Johnny hates this dude. He's so terrible. This play calling is just.
Well, you don't know because he never throws the ball short. He's only throwing to the outside guys. He's not throwing into the middle. That's why Tyler Huntley makes a difference there because Tyler Huntley can throw those short. And we saw last week he moved the ball around. Well, he had 4 different receivers, man. So
yeah, all these Ravens. Like, I mean, I haven't seen Nathan say it, but some of these Ravens fans say that Lamar Jackson's going to be his last year. I'm like, no, they're going to pay him that contract at the end of the year. I don't see him being.
Well, they're on his terms. He's on their terms now because he had a shit year.
Yeah.
You know, injured again. And I put all that on Greg Roman. You got to drop some different game plans, dude. And Greg Roman is stuck in the 90s, dude. Or the 2000 what year was that they went to the Super Bowl with Kaepernick?
2012?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the 49ers and Ravens, I think. It had to be 2012 because I was in the. I think I was
whatever
like
it was, man. He's been stuck.
That was your RG3 was there.
Well, actually, before he even went to the 49ers, he was in that same scheme. He did the same thing constantly over and over and over. Greg Roman, you're gone. You're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
If RG3 would have never had that injury, I feel like that would have been their QB1. But watching that game in the playoffs, that was just
rough.
brutal.
Watching that game against the Ravens that year when his leg went snap.
Oh,
and you're just like, oh, yeah. And you're like, are you serious? You know, and he was able to get into the playoffs, but you knew, like, once he came back, he just was not the same.
I feel like the Commanders really need to get a new stadium, though, because that field's known for injuries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Joe Burrow injury, I think it was what's that defensive player for Washington? His name is Chase
Young, yep.
That injury.
He's still not back yet. He might be back Sunday night, but we don't know.
I feel like it's smart just to wait a little bit.
I haven't been impressed with Chase Young since he came out talking about Brady and then laid an egg.
But then again, he had the injury before Godwin did for ACL. But I think is it really different? Is it different for defensive players' recovery time?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. And his was non-contact. Yeah, his was non-contact. But with him, it's more. He's been cleared for I think the last 3 games, but it's mental. The doctors cleared him, the coaches cleared him, everybody's cleared him, but he's not trusting himself. So now it's like, okay, are you ready now? Huh?
I didn't know this.
I heard that Steve, the owner, is transferring ownership to his kids, so he's taking a step back.
I think Steve's been a great owner, man, for them. Well, maybe he just wants to focus on Under Armour.
Yeah, but I even know that Chase Young was clear for 3 weeks. I thought it was only last week.
No, I've not been impressed with him since his rookie season, man. He's just,
and even that was overhyped. He only had like 7.5 sacks,
right?
And and he got Rookie of the Year, man. But his impact, yes, in the locker
you got
room,
defensive tackles with more sacks than you got. Then as an edge rusher, there's something wrong.
Right. So we'll see what happens when he comes back. But even when he comes back, he's going to be on a pitch count. So I don't think we're going to get the full Chase Young until potentially next year.
Of course, we don't know. We don't know his whole story. That's all.
Very true.
Plus, I want to see the Commanders use Jahan Dotson more, even though he's
too late. Too late.
Look, he already got 5 receiving touchdowns.
I've already taken him off my fantasy league. He stayed on my bench for 6 weeks, man. I was like, come on, Jahan, you're my guy, dude.
Now look, with you're gonna need Carson. That's the debate. Carson Wentz could distribute it to all the different guys. Carson was getting 300-400 yards. That's when Jahan had 4 receiving touchdowns in those weeks, those first 5 weeks that Carson was in there. Heineke throws it to McLaurin and Samuel and the running backs.
Well, I don't agree with this that you need a linebacker because your linebackers are balling out. Your cornerbacks are balling out right now. Running back, it seems like what's his name's back. It's just who's at the helm, who's at the quarterback position depends on the running back because Jackson seems to like the other guys and himself better than anybody else. And
at least they don't have the curse they had last year with when they had like 4 running backs all go down.
Wide receivers, I agree with. Defensive ends, everybody could use another new defensive end. But the Ravens defense is right there at the top right now. Did you just flash?
Yeah, I don't know why. I put that up the other day, and it was a Michigan. I was like, what? Why is it Michigan? I was like, what is this? Somebody's hacking my stuff, man.
You know why?
Kat, my fiance is Michigan State, so that doesn't even work for her. So I'm like, oh.
I feel like Alex is slowly converting him to a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Right?
A Lions fan.
It's like, wait a minute. I mean, I was just there a week ago.
You might see a Michigan flag in the background.
It's amazing blue. Just
they are Nathan, but they're still balling out. You don't walk away from somebody who's still playing in their prime like that, man.
Yeah.
And Justin Houston, Ravens have given him a reinvigoration, dude. That guy, he's balling now. They put him in the right position. It's sometimes it's just the right fit, and if it's the right fit, you don't mess with what works, dude. Campbell, I agree with Campbell. Campbell's still playing good, but he's not at the top of his game right now.
There, he fixed it. Only thing that sucks is like this year, I was trying to avoid going home when the Wolverines play. I told my mom I was like, so I'm gonna be in Michigan during the Michigan and TCU game. She's like, you better not say a single freaking word. I was like, I can't say I can't say anything. She's like, nope. I was like, even if we have a lead, don't say that that we're gonna win this game. I'm like, well, there goes the head. And that's where I was like, you know what? I hope it's Ohio State versus Michigan. And she's like, you better watch your freaking mouth. I was like,
that'd be crazy.
Michigan.
I kind of hope that happens.
The band must have been real narrow because this is already lightening up, man.
Yeah, she whenever Ohio State and Michigan play, it's like I can't say. Whenever they're playing on TV, I just leave the house. When I was growing up, I was like, well, I'll see you guys later. She's like,
right.
You don't watch us.
Anybody taking the Browns in this game?
I took the Ravens, but this is one of those games like watch this game happen.
I'm not even worried. The Ravens are going to handle this because the Browns have been off.
Yeah, Watson's not back.
Chubb's not getting the yards he was getting before. The defense is ranked in the 20s, man. So it's not the defense that everybody's used to anymore.
Like Hutch fell off too. Like I haven't seen much. Like, then he won out. Was he trying to get traded at the trade deadline?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So he I mean, I haven't seen him ball out like he.
See, the thing is, like with the Browns, I think it was like last week. They were
No,
at the
it's
goal
not.
line. They were at the goal line.
Exactly.
Instead of letting Chubb run it in, they just kept passing. I was like, how do you have Nick Chubb right here, but you decided to pass it at the 2-yard line 3 times?
The Browns are going through a bit of a transition themselves, trying to adapt to Watson. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
this
The thing is, that offense
needs.
needs. I thought that offense needed a Jacoby Brissett because he's not going to do anything fancy, but he's going to keep handing the ball off and he's going to keep you in the ball game.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what,
they've dumbed down their offense for Watson, and it's still.
right.
I mean, I got Watson on my fantasy league,
Your
but
fantasy.
I don't mean I want him. I don't mean I would want him starting on my real team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tell,
right.
tell them the real reason why you have him on your team.
Because all my quarterbacks went down.
Oh, I thought it was the other reason where you said you didn't want anybody else picking him up.
No, I didn't
Playing
want anybody.
defense.
I went and wiped him out, man. I collected him on all my fans. Speaking of which, you're in one of the leagues. How are you? Are you in the playoffs this year? In one of my leagues, the NFL edition leagues.
Let me see.
I know I'm not.
Not-
Since I auto drafted to an account that I have no access to. I have zero access to that shit.
Honestly, yeah, I do believe that, Nathan. Brissett should have stayed starter there. He was playing well.
The offense seems to work better with
It
Brissett.
does.
Yeah.
Although
then you see
the
Watson.
offense is still they're going to be doing a lot of rebuilding next year too.
Yeah, I'm in that. I'm the 3 seed in one of your leagues.
There you go.
Playing Bill 4.
You're probably in the NFL edition 3, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the playoffs on that one.
They gotta set
I
that
got
up.
eliminated week 6. I don't even know who I have on my team, honestly. Like we did the league, and then I went to go back and log into it. Apparently the email I put, it was the wrong email to an account that I have no access to. I was like, well, this is fun. This is gonna be interesting. And plus, I didn't think I was actually gonna miss deployment, so it's like.
Anthony, man, you crack me up, dude. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, how about speaking of the snow? How about the Bills Dolphins today? I think the Dolphins, although I love their head coach, man. Between him and Dan Campbell, I think those are the 2 most entertaining head coaches in football.
I like them.
And,
I like
Did you see that video where it was like it was like 2 weeks ago, like the head coach of the Dolphins kept saying Alabama quarterbacks are terrible on the sideline. He said it in the headset. He's like, I hope Tua didn't hear that. He's saying like SEC quarterbacks.
You see him today? He's out there on the field in a shorts with a shirt that says "I need it colder."
Yeah. Talk about. He said it's just a mindset. I don't know. It's just a mindset. The cold is a mindset. He said, "Where do they vacation? Do they vacation in Buffalo? It's a mindset." I was like, "All right, bro. We'll see if your quarterback thinks it's a mindset. Trying to throw the ball. You can't look. Tua can't be 3 of 17. Was that? What did he start against the Chargers? It was rough. He needs to. Let's go.
I can answer this question really quick. No, they're not going to beat the Bengals.
Oh man.
Best we can hope is to keep the score competitive.
Do they win the division?
I don't. I think Panthers have a good shot at winning the division.
I think so too.
I mean,
a lot of people say Panthers and the Falcons, but right now I put the Panthers ahead of the Falcons. Yeah. Although I picked the Falcons to win this week.
Like my heart wants them to win this Sunday on Sunday, but will they? I'd rather be more honest with myself, and they're not going to win that one.
Do I think 1,000 yards receiving is overrated? Absolutely not. Do you know how many wide receivers in the league don't get to 1,000 yards?
Yeah,
there's the top percent or the top percenters are the 1,000-yard guys. Look at Mike Evans. He's only 300 yards away from his 1,000.
No, he's
struggling to get that because Brady won't throw him the damn ball.
He's 195 yards.
195 yards. Okay, short.
Yeah, he's at 805 right now.
And
only 59 receptions for 805
I mean,
yards and
some of
3
these guys
touchdowns.
make it look easy, but it's not. It's not. You got to be. It's usually your deep threat guys, and those are your most valuable wide receivers in the first place.
Even this year, like you could see Brady forcing the ball to Evans like every chance. I'm like, if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't throw it. Like even last night when Ben said it, threw it right to his feet. I was like, just can't make that. You can't even let that happen.
What's up, Ben?
Yeah, but I think Tyreek's talking about he could have had. He's wanting to be in that Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens talk, and that's why he was complaining because he wasn't getting the ball like that. You know what I mean? Tyreek is an exceptional player, man. He is, and that whole drive to want the ball, that's Jerry Rice would bitch if he didn't get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He was an asshole about it. Terrell Owens, we know what he did about it. You know what I mean? With Philadelphia. Moss, look at him. He had that attitude too. You got to have that attitude if you're going to be like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's why Evans ain't getting it because he's not a diva. He don't go out there and just bitch and whine and shit. I wish the hell he would a little bit because Brady needs to throw him those 50-50 balls because nobody's taking them from him. You know what I mean?
That's interesting because for a guy who will get into a lot of people's Lattimore, for example, but yet he won't demand the ball. Sometimes I think he expects it, but instead of just giving poor me looks, say something.
Yeah.
Give him Tom Brady's
Give him
face.
some Lattimore. Give him some of that Lattimore shit, dude.
Mike Evans deserves that. He deserves to say stuff, to even Tom Brady. He's built
Absolutely.
that, he's earned it. So why not say something to him, every once in a while?
I think that respect thing with Brady is league wide. I mean, that's league wide. I don't think there's a whole lot of players, except for those like Tyreek Hill would probably do it. Tyreek Hill would be like, "Give me the fucking ball, bitch," And
but I think Brady would
like others. Justin Jefferson might. Right. I don't know. Jefferson don't really strike me as that type of player either, though. But
no, I think Brady wouldn't mind that. He wouldn't mind Evans saying, "Hey, give me the ball." Brady will.
I don't know if he is like that because he's always had players around him. To look at Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman followed him around like a little puppy dog.
Yeah.
He never got in Brady's butt. Gronk, I don't think ever got in Brady's ass. I think that's the people that Brady throws to is the ones that don't give him too much shit.
Wait, since we have Sean here, did we all pick the Commanders this week?
Yeah.
Did you pick up the tie? Thanks a lot.
So all eyes are on you, Sean.
Well, I'm praying for a tie, though, man. I am praying for a tie.
That tie, man. Let's do it. Oh, we're getting the W. 27-14, baby. Let's go.
And Sean has promised to be on our show if we hit that tie. So
we get that tie.
Come on, tie.
Yeah, right. I'd much rather be on for that than losing to the Texans. Like originally playing.
That sports code out.
Losing to Texas.
Missing the tie, man. I was reading that, Ben. I was like, what is he talking about? Oh, you need a tie. I was like, this guy.
Is everybody here picking the Bills?
I am.
Yeah, in the snow. Yeah, I got to pick Buffalo.
Yeah. Miami, I think, is a legit team. It's with Buffalo and Miami. It's okay. You come down here and we'll kick your ass in this heat.
Right.
And Buffalo is going to be the opposite. I think that was a great game, by the way. And two best games in my life that I've seen from Miami were the Chargers down there, where K1 went down with the heat stroke. But that was a great battle, man. That was one of the best I've ever seen. And the last game with Buffalo down there this year, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. That heat.
Miami, what was the score? That was like 21-19 or something like
that?
Yeah,
it was really. Didn't it go into overtime?
No, I think from the highlights I saw, the Bills were going downfield. I guess they didn't have a timeout left, so they couldn't call one.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Well, on their last offensive possession, Josh Allen kind of whiffed the ball a little bit. If he had just thrown it like a yard, further, he would have had a touchdown. They would have probably won that game. Their first
They were
match.
wilting, man. They were wilting everybody. You saw
Yeah.
Josh Allen was wilting. All the receivers were wilting. That defense was melting under that heat. That was a great game. I love that. That it reminded me that was the first game I've seen in a long time that reminded me of that Chargers game against Miami. You know,
Mm.
Kellen Winslow Sr. We don't talk about the other K. That was horrible.
Mm.
Pulled the granny's diapers off. God.
So I'm guessing everybody picking Ravens.
I picked the Ravens.
Over the Browns? Yeah, just Deshaun is
Skull
not.
gang.
He looks like a shell of himself.
Brother, I love your commitment to the Bucks, but no. The Super Bowl fantasies aside, we will be. I don't know. I would say we'd be lucky to get to the playoffs, but I don't know how much luck that would be. You know, a playoffs would screw up our draft position.
I think we're like what, number 19 right now?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're number 19.
You're like one or two deeper than us because we're like 17 or something.
I just want to
I'm not
see.
one for tanking for draft or anything, and I'll be happy if we get to the playoffs like normal. But you're not going to do nothing once you get there, unless we have one of those Brady miracles, you know, one of those Brady miracle runs, and that's not out of the question. But I just don't see it.
Well, if we get Dallas, we'll definitely win that game.
I can agree with you on that.
After
The
that,
Ash ain't
one
watching
team that's honestly truly winning is if the Lions can go 3-1 and go into the playoffs, they still have that top 5 pick just sitting there. So even if they go to the playoffs, their draft stock won't really be affected. They'll still get that top 10 pick.
Yeah. And you know what? They do have a tiebreaker over the Giants. And
Washington.
You said it, not me. No,
I was there. There, down 22-0 at halftime.
Oh, I know. I saw the video. Seattle's falling apart, even though they beat Detroit earlier. They're going downhill because now they got to play still.
Just make sure to stay clear of Ash because her Cowboy, she is any kind of slight Cowboys slander. She just. I told some Sid, I was like, so if it's Cowboys and Steelers are winning, I was like, how's that end up at the end of the day? He's like, I had to stay away.
For who, Nathan? For the Ravens? Yeah, I don't expect a quarterback in their draft. They've got Jackson right where they want him right now. I mean, he went into the season betting on himself and lost.
So it'll be a franchise tag probably.
Oh no! Yeah, no. He was saying who. You don't expect a quarterback to be drafted in the top 5?
Oh, in that case, yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's going to be a quarterback in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm about to say
there's still a few teams out there that haven't locked in a quarterback yet.
And need one.
Yep.
Texans. I don't think they're happy with the guy that they got. I mean, I liked. Oh Jesus,
Davis Mills.
Yeah, Mills, but I didn't think he was going to be a starter. I thought he'd be a backup for.
They brought in Kyle Allen last week. You know, like that shows you how much they care about that guy, Davis Mills.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna wipe everything off after.
Yeah, that first pick off out of the draft is going to be a quarterback, and Lovey's there to get you another Jameis Winston.
Yeah, well, Lovey's not going to be there for that because they'll fire him probably.
That's the thing. Yeah, he's a stopgap.
And he'll ride off in the sunset, retire. And
let's give Kyle Trask.
We are talking about the Texans, right?
Yeah, right.
Lovey fits them perfectly, man.
Hell yeah, he should stay, but
they're not going to keep him. They want to change everything up. You know, this is just like you said, Johnny.
Yes, I agree with that.
Lovey's the bait. Lovey's the bait, and the quarterbacks are in the lake right now.
They're swimming around.
They're saying, please. I don't know if I want to go to the draft or not.
Right?
You're right, Lovey.
Smart. If you're a good quarterback in college right now, and you're smart, say you're going to MLB or some shit.
Right. Look, start a rumor about you or something.
Yeah.
Undisclosed injury or.
It used to be what was it? It used to be the Lions where teams will be like mad that they'll get drafted to. Now it's just the Texans. Texans are that team where it's like, fuck, I got drafted to there.
My career's already over. Dang.
It don't matter, even if it's not the Texans. Anybody that's drafting at first position, unless they got that spot from a trade, you know, is not where a good quarterback wants to go.
No quarterback drafted number 1 overall is going to make it unless you're like an Andrew Luck, a once in a lifetime kind of quarterback that just comes in right away. And Andrew Luck's the only guy that I can think of that did that. But look what happened. He retired.
Manning?
Yeah.
Or was Peyton
Manning was rough early. He had 30 picks in his first year.
Yeah, I'm just talking about
Rob was good.
Oh, he said make it though. I was like,
to make it, yeah.
To day one. I mean,
from day one though.
I'm still not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I saw that they changed the scheme so that he's not throwing those throwaway balls in the end zone all the time. But
I always say, man, you just hope a quarterback can sit for a year and learn. That's the best way to go. I mean, look at guys like Aaron Rodgers, sat behind Favre. Like he was supposed to be drafted high, but he went low, got to the right team, learned under Brett Favre, waited a couple years.
Boy, did the Lions catch a break this week getting Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Like this comment right here, like that's why like some people are like, oh, if the Bucs will make the playoffs, we're gonna go for a quarterback. I was like,
no,
I'd rather have Kyle Trask before you even try to make any moves, because you got to see what you have with your quarterbacks first.
Absolutely, 100%, dude. He was a second-round pick. He's not a throwaway quarterback. That's the guy, and he's sitting there developing for 2 years now. So, yeah, you got to go with Trask, man.
Yeah, you got to see what you have in house, man. That's why I'm not like I'm like, look, I don't want to go out and get a quarterback in Washington. The last 2 years we've picked up a quarterback. Fitzpatrick lasted a quarter, and then we see Wentz lasted 5 games. So we're just throwing money away. And Taylor's not the guy, but he can get the job done, and he can make us viable if we bring the rest of the team around him. So
you call your team a donation station?
Donation. We pick guys up at the local 7-Eleven, man. Like you need a job.
I think Trask will be the quarterback next year. I don't think Brady's going to be here. A lot of people still do.
Apparently, there was a report last week that's saying that he's going to come back next year, but he doesn't know which team is going to be with.
But see, he's got to be. He also said that he's not going west because he wants to stay on the East Coast with his kids. So that limits where he's going to go. Right there, immediately.
Commanders,
Patriots. Kraft really wants him back, and Kraft will overrule Belichick in a heartbeat to get Brady back in the house, especially since their Alabama boy ain't working out so well for him.
He does not like Matt Patricia.
Oh, mac and cheese.
Hey, Vegas might fire Josh again, and he'll be back there with Brady.
That's where he works with New England.
Just like with Matt Patricia went to the Lions and then came right back. You see Bill Belichick will get his comeback.
Yeah.
Seriously, what other than maybe Vrabel, what other New England assistant has ever really done anything?
Nobody.
Again, as a head coach, nothing.
Nobody.
Mike Vrabel, that's it.
Oh, come on, Nathan. Stop it.
Oh, gosh.
Comedy hour.
Oh, man.
Mike Lennon wasn't bad, but I'd rather not relive those days.
Not bad. This was Mike Lennon in a nutshell.
I mean, I don't want to say terrible, but if you had a choice between Mike Lennon and Josh Freeman, who would you pick?
Glennon did go into Seattle and beat the what was the name of that team when they had the defense?
Legion of Boom.
Glennon did go into Seattle and beat the Legion of Boom.
No, he didn't beat Seattle. He beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, he beat Pittsburgh. Lost by 3 in Seattle. That's what it was.
Yep.
See, Ben? Not bad, within 3.
Wow, your standards are way high, aren't they, Sean?
Everybody's got jokes today, don't they? Look at this.
Oh,
Oh,
Come
let me go
on,
ahead and leave
man.
real quick. Let me go ahead and leave real quick.
He got
keep that
trained
W,
by
baby.
he got trained by Peyton and still
This-
couldn't
What is this
make
like?
the team.
This exercise, like.
He wasn't scapegoated, guys. All right. He got cut by the Bucks, and then he spent 3 years with the Saints being developed by Sean Payton, who's supposed to be the genius, right? Where's he at now? He's on the fucking bench,
Doing the same thing.
letting Andy Dalton throw up interceptions right and left. So
The problem was he couldn't read defenses.
yeah, he can't. He's never
Yeah.
developed that sense to read a defense, and he still plays hero ball.
Yep.
He's got talent. He can get the job done. But
He's
yeah,
got
you're right.
talent, but that talent will get you killed.
Oh, yeah.
His talent lies in his deep throws.
Mhm.
Kind of like I was talking about with Jackson earlier, but Jackson has his running ability and his physical ability to make up for it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Doing the Congo with football.
And this,
Oh my God, they've been around and he still couldn't hit them. That's
Yeah.
where they are.
He was there. Yeah, Thomas was there. What, half the season? You know,
I mean,
Kamara
he's
was
there
there.
and Jameis was playing, yeah.
To this next
Yeah.
comment, no. To the next comment.
Oh, my goodness.
No,
No.
they're not. We're not built that way, dude. We're built. Well, we're not
We're
even
built for
close to being
pocket
built
passing.
like that.
Yeah, we're built for a pocket passer. Not a,
Yep.
We don't like your kind.
Yeah,
You runners.
I like that name. Lamer Jackson. Lamer Jackson.
Well, it makes it easier on offensive linemen, honestly,
Mhm.
to have a good pocket passer where the linemen know where this guy's going to be. That's another thing. Jameis Winston, when he'd panic or think he had to carry the team, he would be, and the offensive lineman had no idea where the fuck he was.
Mhm.
He'd be running into some edge rusher, and they're saying, "Why the fuck are you over there? The play it was supposed to be." Ah.
Johnny, could you imagine Donovan Smith trying to protect Lamar Jackson?
No, no, Donovan.
I'd
Smith,
rather
you're on
not.
your own,
Where
bitch.
did you go?
I'd rather not.
Actually, I think if it was designed plays, designed runs, Donovan Smith's fine. Donovan Smith is a good run blocker,
Yeah, good run
not
block.
a good pass.
Sure,
blocker.
yeah. No, not pass.
You-
No.
Hey, Sean, there's one thing you can always expect as a Bucks fan. If you see a touchdown drive, I guarantee you 99% it's going to be a flag and a holding call.
Oh,
Donovan
my God.
Smith.
What's
Every
going on with this guy, man? I've heard y'all complain about this man all year long. Everybody seems to get on his case.
Well, he's not
He's
very
going
good.
through a lot right now, apparently.
He's a good run blocker, but he's never been good in pass protection. And
No.
his best years were a couple years ago where he put Gronk on his side or an extra,
yeah,
another
Chip.
extra blocker for
Yeah.
the pass
He was
plays.
good last year and the year before in 2020, our Super Bowl run. He was good.
Yeah.
But that's because they settled down and worked the pocket. And now without the Marpet and without Kappa, without Jensen, that pocket, that center collapses, and then Donovan gets lost. He don't know what to do. He gets left out there on the edge and has to take the Browns, Miles, whatever his
Miles
name
Garrett.
is.
Yeah, Miles
Yeah.
Garrett.
It has to be one-on-one with Miles Garrett and these kind of guys, man. Nick Bosa and shit, and it don't work like that, man. You got to have somebody chipping there.
I see we woken up Nathan because of the guy saying about the Lamar Jackson. Who said that blasphemy?
That's what you
Lamar.
The sailor.
It wasn't us.
like
That wasn't us. We thought it was silly.
When I saw that, I was like, that when you showed me that message that he was favored to go here, I was like, that's not even going to happen.
Mm.
If I was a betting man, pick Lamar to Bucks number 1 on the list. No, that's
No,
a donation.
absolutely not.
If Lamar's
a-
going anywhere, he's coming right down 95.
If you
Hey.
put Lamar Jackson on this team,
And then
you would have to
few cities
rebuild
down
the
after
entire.
And then going right through 95.
Going through 90.
Right down through Washington, all the way through Virginia. Gonna keep
No way,
going.
Gotta go.
Bye, guys.
We go to Atlanta.
He says he needs a stone cold clip.
He'll pass Tampa and then just keep going.
Yep. Just
So his
gonna keep
vacation
on
home or
drafting.
something.
Nathan, you're welcome to jump in here, man. You need the link? I'll send you the link, bud.
Yo, actually, yeah, do that. Send him the link. We're gonna do the college show a little later, so I gotta go watch a couple of these games to prep for that.
All right,
So
man.
yo, hey, good.
All right.
Thank you for letting me join. Love talking to you guys. We'll
Great
definitely
having you
have a
on
chat
here,
later.
man. Love it.
Yes,
Stop,
sir.
Sean. Take care, man.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
See ya. Yeah, it's Lamar Jackson is not good. Like people need to stop this.
That's just insanity, man.
Like even
Lamar
when I
Jackson
saw that,
ain't
that
going.
shit was laughable at most. It's just he's not going to sign with like that offense. If he was in our offense, you see him on the IR in like 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Do you understand how much you'd have to change this offense
It's a
in
whole
order to even use Lamar Jackson? It's not like you can put him in a no risk at no biscuit offense, man. It's not.
mobile quarterback offenses and pocket passing offenses is
Yeah,
completely different. It's a whole
completely
different.
set up different offensive blocking schemes, completely different.
Let's imagine Lamar Jackson has like a first down. Guess what's going to happen?
We don't have the Ravens offensive line here. Believe that. We don't have them.
No, and plus you gotta in the draft you gotta build that line again for a guy like Lamar Jackson. You know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta.
I mean, I think that was our plan regardless. This coming in this draft.
And then people like Mike Evans and all those guys. How's it going, Nathan?
I am out here looking to being provoked.
Well, then, let me say this.
Face to do it.
What's happening, fellas? How y'all doing?
How's it going?
How
man?
you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I love your show, man. I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, the show's really good, man.
Yeah, I haven't
Don't
done
worry.
it.
Don't let the Lamar Jackson news provoke you. It's not happening.
No, it's not happening. No, I haven't been on. I've been finishing up with finals, but I'll be back. My show will be back on hopefully this week. So trying to get that done.
Yeah,
Yeah. Jensen would be the only one on the team that understands Lamar Jackson.
I agree with that.
It's you would have Wirfs would have to be retrained. Everybody would have to be retrained on that offense. And some of them just aren't even capable of it. So, no.
Well, I think also too, John. I think you also have to understand when you look at Baltimore and Tampa. If let's say hypothetically Lamar went to Tampa, he's got some playmakers. I mean, other than Mark Andrews, he doesn't have a Mike Evans or a Chris Godwin.
No.
Hell, he
But
doesn't
you
even
could have. But you could have. You drafted a couple of wide receivers that were really good in college, okay? But what does Greg Roman do?
doesn't use them.
Right. And that's why I think it's just because Lamar – I think that Greg Roman has stunted Lamar's growth too, because he don't use that short and immediate passing game at all. Except
I agree.
when Tyler Huntley's in there, because Tyler Huntley's good at it.
And you know what's weird though too is that I still think just because it worked for Colin Kaepernick, he thinks it works for everybody.
Not even before Colin Kaepernick, before he was with the 49ers,
yeah,
he
but
was
Colin
running that same
Kaepernick,
stupid freaking
came out of
scheme,
nowhere,
man.
and it just his style of play worked perfect for that. He perfected it.
And look what he did to Colin Kaepernick. He stunted Colin's growth also.
But I think it's also too when you don't have when you have a guy like Jim Harbaugh, who's like I would say a guru in his offense is being consistent. When your head coach isn't speaking up and saying, "This is what I need from you as a coordinator to make our offense better," you're kind of just like okay, well, we got to the playoffs, we're okay. Like I think also too, I hate to say this, but I think Harbaugh's time is up too in Baltimore.
If he don't get rid of Greg Roman, now there's something with the Harbaughs and Greg Roman that's weird, man. It's like, what do you see in this guy? Harbaugh has never been afraid to fire an offensive coordinator. Never.
He wasn't afraid to fire Cam Cameron.
Yeah,
That's right.
To this comment, I would rather not even have Aaron Rodgers either. I'd rather not see.
I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers would fit the scheme better than Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he would fit it, but I feel like he's going to stay in Green Bay.
I would like to
have
see
his
it just
disruption
to
on the
piss you
team.
two off. That'd be great. Alec, I'll just
No.
love to see Rodgers here to piss you and Ryan off. That'd be great.
In the wise words of Alex, no, Ben, no.
In the wise words of
Same way,
Ben, yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about, Scott? There's more interest in NFL now than there ever has been.
NFL salary will be reduced soon. Well, I do think there needs to be a conversation because I am kind of concerned that we're giving guys hefty contracts, and there are certain guys who are not deserving of it. They're not playing to that kind of contract, and
See,
it's hard.
that pisses me off too, because the whole salary cap thing that started right after Colt McCoy was drafted, right? Remember how he was the the last $50 million contract coming straight from the draft, right?
Mm.
Then they went to these scale pays, right?
yeah.
It isn't really working. It isn't really working. You're still paying $100 million out to people that are at the end of their career now. Instead, it's got to be there's got to be some moderation in there, man.
And not only
Hey,
moderation. Okay, I'm sorry.
do you want to answer this next question? Because I want to address that question. It's the
Which question?
A question,
it's
dude.
the one after Scott's comment, where it says Bucks have roster to win now.
Yeah, we got a roster, but it doesn't matter. It's not working because all the key elements of that roster are out or not playing well.
I mean, if we were healthy, I would say that it's just from the training camp on, you start seeing the domino effect of injuries slowly affect the team.
Yeah,
And
but
losing
what
two,
quarterback would that be, though? If we can't just get any quarterback, we need a quarterback that fits that system. Fits the offensive line.
Trask. I'm good with Trask next year. I don't care.
I'd rather go with Trask and see what we have, because you can't just say, oh, that quarterback's not worth it if you haven't seen him play on the team. Like, no one, I mean, you can ask anybody with Taylor Heineke. No one, I mean, obviously they knew what they had with him, but I'm pretty sure fans, when they saw Taylor Heineke play, they're like, oh, why we put this guy in, and then see how it worked out for them.
My only concern with that, though, is that they might keep Gabbert.
Yeah.
And then start him for a little bit and then put Trask in. But I would rather just.
I think Trask will start and Gabbert will be back there to fill in for if needed. Which is like a crutch. I don't think he needs a crutch. Just let him go.
Yeah, especially with the offseason. Didn't you tell me they built that offense around Trask in the offseason?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Nathan, we got you in here. I want to ask you real quick. What are you thinking about these 3 games today, man?
I'm going to give the Buffalo Bills the edge. I said it in the comments. I think it's going to go to overtime.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills played in heat, and but the Dolphins got to play in the winter. So, 2 different atmospheres. I am having. I'm not a believer in Miami. I think they'll make the playoffs, but they're not a team to beat. I think they're just putting way too much on Tua's shoulders, and the way they've looked the past couple weeks, Tyreek is hurt and dealing with an injury. Jalen Waddle has been no show. So I'm gonna give the Bills the edge. Baltimore will beat Cleveland. I'm not saying as a Ravens fan. I'm not sold on the Browns. I think this year
the Browns aren't sold on the Browns.
Yeah. I think they should have let Jacoby Brissett just be the bell cow, hold the team down until next year. But I just let you know how from the top up how Jimmy Haslam as an owner is garbage. And
he's a brown stain on the league. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get into the whole why I just signed Deshaun. It's just
it's not just that. It's just as an owner, he has been lacking.
He just lacks. And then who's the third matchup? I'm sorry, I can't remember the top of my head.
The Vikings and Colts.
Oh, the Vikings easily.
Thank you. Yeah.
The Colts are not a serious franchise.
No.
I feel so bad. I feel, Peyton Manning's rolling over in his grave. Jeff Saturday's rolling over in his grave.
Wait. Breaking news. Peyton Manning's dead?
No,
No, it's a joke. I use
It's a
that joke too. Like, people are alive rolling in their grave. Like,
I mean, like watching them from the whole from the beginning of the season. This team is not serious. Chris Ballard's done as a GM. Time's up because
that whole staff is gone, man.
He's had ample opportunity to put a competitive team. What he has put out there is an embarrassment. It's trash. It's an eyesore to watch. Matt Ryan's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but my God,
I don't know about that.
No,
well, I mean, he's a Hall of
So.
Famer. Let me
Hall of Famer, but not a first or even second ballot. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, quarterbacks that wait too long, except for the Raiders.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you just look at this team, they haven't recovered.
Wow.
From the day Andrew Luck retired, they just haven't. And as long as you got Mr. Jim Irsay kind of controlling the puppet show, which is what it is in Indianapolis, this is what they're going to be. So the Minnesota Vikings.
I'll disagree with that. I think Jim Irsay is a serious football owner. He really believes, he really wants that team. I think that's what this whole Jeff Saturday thing was about. Was he was sending a message to everybody that you're gone after this season.
But why bring in Saturday though? I mean,
as a clear message that he don't trust anybody. He trusts an outsider more than he trusts the people that are already on staff, is what he was saying. They're all gone. That's what he said. It was a clear message to me. That's the only reason you would do that. That and the Peyton Manning thing. There's a catch there with Peyton Manning.
That's self-serving. If you're going to do something like that, that's self-serving, in my opinion, because you're just bringing morale down even more. Like, say Jonathan Taylor. I know he's in his rookie contract. You think he wants to stay there if we keep seeing things happen like this?
I think it's the owner showing that he's pissed off, and he wants to make sure everybody knows he's pissed off, and they haven't stepped up.
You got to do it a certain way. I don't think this is, in my opinion, I don't think this is the right way to go.
I think it's a great way. As a player, I would have been scared shitless.
In today's NFL, I doubt that. I mean,
my only question is, where was this energy last year when they didn't make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Well, because they were making improvements last year. They were making steps and stuff and shit. Steps and stuff and shit. Listen to me.
How the improvement? The Colts went to the playoffs 2 years ago, then they didn't go last year, and then now they're a mess even bigger.
Look at their record last year, though, compared to this year.
Improvements? That's what I mean. Like, where are the improvements?
That's what Irsay is looking at. Where are the improvements?
Well, that starts with the top, with the ownership. You got to trust your GM to make moves. Fine, if you're going to let Bauer go, good, let him go. But
they're all gone.
Don't step in and be an outsider in just because you want to stroke your ego and make a point. Like, there are other ways to do that. You don't have to do it that way.
Well, why would you take an interim coach from inside the organization as it stands? That's what I'm asking. I don't understand that. I don't understand that
because they can at least rally around that. They know the system already.
If they were going to rally around, they would have been rallying around them while they're there.
Well, Jeff Saturday,
you gave up your shot
from the podcast booth, and then
I'm not going to make you a head coach just because
taking his suit off and putting on Colts gear and standing on the sidelines. What kind of message is that? I mean, I don't think it does anything, and it still hasn't done anything. They got their ass kicked 2 weeks ago by Dallas. Didn't do nothing. So
he didn't expect it to do anything. I really don't. They're going to get a better draft pick out of this. I understand what he did. Whether you do or not, I don't.
I understand, but I think we differ on the reasons why. This is more of a guy who's acting like a baby, who owns his team, not getting his way, so he's going to butt in.
He's been in that locker room. He's been in a Colts locker room since his daddy's days.
I know, but sometimes you got to know when to go in there and when not to go in there. You know what I mean?
And to add on to that, that's why I made in the comments. That's why I don't think a quarterback is going to fix Indianapolis.
No, it's going to take an entire staffing change. It's all going to be thrown away this year, and they're going to rehire. And to your point, Ben, I know another head coach owner that did the same exact shit, except he had a winning team.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair.
San Francisco 49ers old owner.
Yeah.
He was in that locker room. He acted the fool half the time. He argued and fought with head coach. Actually fired the head coach to get Mooch in there.
Yeah, but did Mooch win a Super Bowl? Did Mooch do very
Yeah,
well?
he won a Super Bowl with Steve Young.
No, he did not. That was George Seifert.
Oh, Seifert, that's right. Seifert was before Mooch.
Come
My
on,
bad.
you're old
I had
enough
the
to
coaches.
you should remember that.
I had it chronologically fucked up. But Seifert did.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll just see what happens with the Colts in the
I could say
offseason.
look at Jerry Jones, but that's not a good example.
All right, guys, I got to step out. I got to do the dreaded Christmas shopping, but it was fun to pop in.
I did that this morning.
You did? Yeah. Well, I got to do the same thing. So, guys, Nathan, thank you for coming on, man. Good to talk to you, bud.
Appreciate it. Likewise. We got to do it again sometime.
Definitely. All right, guys, take care.
I think we've all established that the Colts are garbage.
The Colts not a serious franchise.
Right. Who would you replace Harbaugh with?
Oh, how is John Taylor not?
That's a good question. That's going to be tough for me. I don't think. I mean, if
Brian Billick, come back.
no, Brian Billick. As a kid, I caught them at the end when they was in Minnesota with Randall Cunningham and Randy Moss.
Right.
When he brought it to Baltimore, I was completely dumbfounded because it was the complete polar opposite. Because Baltimore's never, for some, I don't know what this is. Historically, we don't invest in receivers. Travis Taylor does not count. Travis Taylor was a bust. I mean, like actually drafting and developing wide receivers. Baltimore's never done that. Harbaugh, I think a lot of it has to be philosophy change. And he also, too, has to say to himself, what do I have to do to be a better coach?
Be who you were. Be who you were. Don't tolerate the nonsense. That's what he needs to do.
Well, I mean, and
because he didn't used to tolerate nonsense from an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator.
Well, I think after the Super Bowl, I think it also kind of showed too that whose team it truly was when he came aboard. It was really Ed Reed and Ray Lewis's team, and I think since then, he's kind of struggled to really kind of create that identity for Baltimore. And that's
where I think the identity disappeared at was upstairs with the GM. When Ozzie stepped back.
Well, I think Ozzie wanted to go back home. I think he really, because he's an Alabama boy, so yeah. I think he was really hoping to, do something with the school, and that kind of fell off. But I mean, he's still a part of upstairs.
Yeah, I saw him upstairs in the last game they had.
Yeah, he does. He consults with the team. He does something. He's kind of like it's kind of like an advisor for DaCosta. But I mean,
I had a lot of high hopes for DaCosta because Ozzie trained him. You know what I mean?
And I think Eric DaCosta can still do some things. I mean, he's made some good moves.
Oh man, this year's draft, they wiped it out, man. I think they got a great draft this year.
Well, I was really hoping that Tyler Beatty would have panned out, but
Jones is who I was looking for, man, because I wanted him with the Bucks, dude.
Yeah, Travis Jones has been playing pretty well too. A lot of guys have been. I mean,
your defense is really balling right now, man. They're balling right now. I think they've moved into the 5th spot now.
Well, my only concern is Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey. I know you're entitled to have a bad game, but Marcus Peters is not like the same Marcus Peters from last year, and that's disturbing to me because he is a free agent after this year.
But it should be easier on him too with the safety you guys got, man, in the draft.
Well, they're not using him the way I like them to use him, and they're really content with Chuck Clark, and I think they need to move away from him.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at that offense. That offense is terrible. Right. When I say it's I'm not like we're 27th in passing the ball. That shouldn't be
You were
happening.
moving down the field easily on the Steelers last week, and
But
that.
if you look at the play designings, Johnny,
Yeah, I know
like
what you're saying. They weren't punching it in like they should be doing.
it's just for me, I shouldn't be hearing like every week. Well, we know what we're capable of. We just got to be a better team. We just got to execute, and we're not doing it
Right.
on a consistent basis. I haven't seen Devin Duvernay since the first meeting against the Bengals, and everyone, and we're expecting Odell Beckham Jr. to be our savior. He's not like we're not. Odell does not fix these issues.
No.
Like Keith Williams.
Odell wouldn't even come there because he wouldn't get the ball enough.
Exactly. Like Keith Williams and T. Martin. That was just. I was deceived because I don't see where their input on this offense is. I don't see it.
Well, Roman went away from the pass early in the season. Early in the season, remember, they started out passing the ball, getting it moved around, and it was working. And then he just walked away from the pass and went right back to his old self again.
And see, and that's where I think and Harbaugh did allude to this in the offseason presser. He's like basically said Roman's got this year to get it done or time's up. And I think it's just time's up on Greg Roman.
Yeah, it's been up. I mean, if you ask my guys, you'll know that I am not a Greg Roman fan.
I know definitely. I like Greg Roman is he knows football, but his offenses are built for high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NFL.
Yeah, it won't even work in college, man. He couldn't even go to a college team and be a coach.
The Atlanta Falcons will win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, guarantee.
I left that up there just for you because you know who sent that.
I know, Mr. Anthony Handy, aka Mr. Fingus. You know what? I think what the Falcons are doing, they're actually in the right direction. I think Desmond Ridder, like, no disrespect to Marcus Mariota, but I know why they had to do it. They're trying to make the playoffs, and there are games where Marcus Mariota is a liability at quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he could flat out run the ball,
right?
But at times passing.
How often can you run him though, man? Because you know he's a lightweight. If he gets hit, it's RG3 all over again.
You can't rely on him either. And also, too, their running game isn't consistent what I thought it would be. Like I know
Patterson just fell off
because of the injury, and then Tyler, what's his name? Algier,
yeah.
He's not. I think he still needs some. I think he's a project. And then, other than Drake London, Kyle Pitts, there's a federal warrant out on his game. I am just shocked. A kid, a guy that picked that high. I can't. I don't know where he's at. The federal government literally has a warrant out for his game.
I wasn't sold on him. I know everybody ran in the draft to draft him and stuff. I let them have him. Give me Kelsey and Kittle.
What is this here? If Nathan makes his way up your way, take him out for chicken. Yeah, very funny.
We got great chicken wings here, man.
Chicken wings are overrated. I'm sorry.
Oh man, you got to come up for some now. We got a place up here on the corner, man, and they're not the steroid chickens, but them sons of bitches are huge, man.
You're up what, New York, PA, Jersey?
I'm in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We're not far from Buffalo. Just hour and a half, maybe 2 hours drive.
Oh, and I wonder how is it like to deal with Steeler fans up there?
It's not too bad actually. My wife's a Ravens fan. Mm-hmm. We lived in Baltimore before we moved here, right?
Right.
So she's a Ravens fan, and she wears her Ravens gear everywhere she goes, and they don't give her too much grief. She gives it back to them anyway.
Oh man, but no, the Falcons are going in the right direction. I just hope that they continue to build on that offense. That defense is starting to put it together too. I still think they'll make the playoffs.
I don't know. I think the Panthers are going to get in the playoffs.
I think it's what you know. What I think it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of football. I think I think it's going to come down to that. I think whoever wins the last 2 weeks is going into the playoffs.
I got the Panthers winning this week. The Bucks losing. That'll tie that up. Falcons I have winning too, so that's going to be a three-way tie up there.
Colts are up 10-0.
Oh wow!
Oh shit, the game's on. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to keep everybody this long. We just
they got a punt block return for a touchdown.
Oh my god,
Anthony, where can we find you at, man? Let everybody know.
Oh, you can find me on my YouTube channel, One Nathan Snell. You can also follow me on Twitter at One Nathan Snell. You can also check my podcast out, Big Nate Sports Talk. I haven't been on there in a couple weeks because I just finished up my fall semester for school. I'll be back up on there hopefully tomorrow evening. I'm in my 12th season of the podcast, and
seasons, man. Jeez.
Yeah, so you can follow me here on YouTube, One Nathan Snell. You can friend me on Facebook, Nathan Snell, Twitter, One Nathan Snell, and that's where y'all can find me at.
Cool, man. And Alec, what do you got going here?
Nothing.
Where can people find you except out at sea?
Don't wish that upon me. You can find me on Thursdays on NFL Edition, and usually in the comment section on any Let's Talk Football podcast, and on any Bucks Report show, usually on the Buck Wild show. That's about it.
Okay. I thought you was going to talk a little bit longer than that.
I don't know what else you want from me.
Okay, I want everybody to know that next Thursday, this coming Thursday, we're going to have a really good show. We're going to have some special guests that are going to be like the NFL Edition's doppelgangers almost. They're almost like twins to us. So we got another Lions fan to match with Alex, and a Bucks fan, and a little bit of everything out there. We got a Steelers fan instead of a Ravens fan, though, this time. All right, man. You guys have fun. Everybody out there in the comments, enjoy the games. We'll see you later.
Thanks for